चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतस्य सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिनि। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So first we'll read the shlokas. So reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Canto 3, Chapter 4, Shloka number 4. Thank you Prabhu for sharing. प्रभु क्लास हिंदी में या इंग्लिश में प्रभु? हरे कृष्णा।
As you wish Prabhu. No worries.
Okay, thank you Prabhu. Thank you. So अहम चोक्तो भगवता प्रपन्नार्ति हरेनः बदरिं त्वं प्रयाहीति स्वकुलं संजिरिष्युना। Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord is the vanquisher of the distresses of one who is surrendered unto Him. Thus he who desired to destroy his family told me previously to go to Badrika Ashram. Purport: while at Dwarka, Uddhava was warned to avoid the distresses which were to follow the disappearance of Lord and the destruction of the Yadu dynasty. He was advised to proceed to Badrika Ashram because there he would associate with the devotees of Naranarayan, and in their association of devotional service, he could increase his eagerness for chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment. Shloka number 5. तथापि तद अभिप्रेतं जानन अहम अरिंदम पृष्ठहतो अन्वगमं भर्तु पाद विश्लेषणाक्षमः. Yet, in spite of my knowing his desire to destroy the dynasty, O Arindanam Vidura, I followed him because it was impossible for me to bear separation from the lotus feet of the master. And finally, the last shloka. Adraksham ekam asinam vichinvandaitam patim Sriniketam saraswatyam kritaketam aketanam. Thus following, I saw my patron and master, Lord Sri Krishna, sitting alone and deeply thinking, taking shelter on the bank of the river Saraswati, although he is the shelter of the goddess of fortune. So purport: those who are in renounced order of life often take shelter underneath a tree. The Lord was found by Uddhava in that condition of taking shelter, as do persons who have no shelter. Because he is the proprietor of everything, everywhere is his shelter, and everywhere is under his shelter. The entire material and spiritual cosmic manifestation is sustained by him, and therefore he is the shelter of everything. So there was nothing astonishing in his taking shelter in the way of the unsheltered who are in the renounced order of life. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vandit Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So now, as we know, when Lord was departing to his abode, so there was a question asked. Now that Lord has gone, where would the dharma, the knowledge, spiritual knowledge, take shelter? And then the famous shloka is recited. Krishna Swadhamo Pagate Dharma Jnanadivi Saha Puranardo Kalo Nashta Drisham Esha Puranardo Adunoditaha. So basically, this is the beginning of that, where Lord is now planning to go back. Yes, he's winding up his pastime in this material world, and once Lord is gone, for people in Kali Yuga, how would they find the path to go back to the spiritual world? I mean, people who are interested to be spiritually elevated, how will they get the direction? And for that purpose, this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam has descended, and which is non-different from Krishna. So later, so this is where it all starts, where now Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is planning to go back. And Uddhava, who is very, very dear devotee, he tells Arjuna, Bhakto Simi Saka Cheti. So the devotees of the Lord who are very, very dear, they are not just devotees, they are even very closely associated, and Krishna considers them as their friend, Saka. So one of such devotee is Uddhava. And now Lord knows Uddhava is so close to me and he loves me so much. So when I'll be departing to the spiritual world, he won't be able to bear the separation. So Krishna is in advance telling him how to avoid the troublesome phase of life when he will be without Krishna's association. So Lord is telling Uddhava that I'll be winding up my pastime, and for you to be again in your same blissful position, you please go to Badrika Ashram, and there you associate with the devotees of Naranarayan. So the important principle here Krishna is trying to tell us through Uddhava is, we as devotees, sadhakas, we will only be blissful only when we are in association of devotees, because that is the only time we'll be actually able to practice devotional service in true sense. Ekantika Harer Bhakti Utpada Eva Kalpate. So sometimes we might feel that we can practice devotional service alone, which is not possible. It will only create Utpada. It will only create so here Lord is through Uddhava telling us the formula how to be blissful, how we can do our Shravanam Kirtanam. It is only when we are in association of devotees. Like now, see, after the COVID started, we got a platform called online platform, and almost how many 9 devotees are joined here. So it is not that only physical, even online when we meet each other, that is also devotee association. So now Krishna is telling Uddhava that please go to Badrika Ashram, and there you please practice devotional service. So here we can, another thing we can see is how Krishna is teaching us renunciation. Now Krishna, the king of Dwarka, okay, after he killed Kamsa, he enthroned, his father, and the next higher is he. But Krishna is showing that in this material world, no matter whatever you get, it has to be given up one day, because it is all temporary here. So Krishna, once he has even his devotees Pandavas, Yudhishthir, Maharaj and all, you will come to know, the moment they also come to know that Krishna is now left this material world, he's gone back, they immediately also, what they do, they put Maharaj Parikshit on the throne, and they also say, now that Krishna is gone back, what are we supposed to do here? So let us also go back. So this is the mood of a devotee. Devotees like Uddhav, devotees like Pandavas. Now imagine Pandavas whole life, from the time they were born till the time they won the Kurukshetra war, they were in total they were given so much trouble by their cousins from day one, from the time they were born. They never saw a time where they were peaceful, they were allowed to be peaceful. No doubt, being devotees, they were peaceful, but externally, all his cousins, his uncle Dhritarashtra, they were all planning to put them in trouble. And finally, when they got a chance to become the rulers, They were not attached to it, right? They just won Kurukshetra war. They are now the rulers. But the moment they came to know that Krishna is going, what they did not think, okay, let us enjoy this kingdom for some time because we have suffered so much. We had to undergo so much of miseries, so much of mental problems, which were inflicted them by so many other peoples, their enemies. So now let us enjoy this kingdom. No, the moment they came to know that Krishna is going back, immediately they left everything and they also started to, they also renounced and they also started going back. So this is the mood of a devotee. So when we say Lord is the vanquisher of distress, we should understand what is that distress. The real distress that we are all having is forgetful of Krishna. So when we come to bhakti, when we are new, we think distress means material conditions are not good, financial conditions are not good, health condition is not good. So I'm coming to Krishna, I'm coming to this bhakti process so that all these external things will be vanquished by Krishna. So Krishna will take away all this distress. No doubt, to the extent our bhakti life becomes peaceful, Krishna will eliminate it. But the real elimination, the real distress that Krishna eliminates from our life is the Maya, what you call the Maya that is overtaken us. Okay, that is because the moment we actually get situated in Krishna consciousness, and actually when we understand that my real relationship is with Krishna, and to get out of this material world, I have to practice bhakti. So when that knowledge we are situated in, actually all our distress will get vanquished. Otherwise, these material conditions, they will never get distressed. I mean, will never get vanquished. Because if you see the life of Pandavas, they were in contact with Krishna physically. Krishna was with them personally, and yet if you see their entire life, how it was full of miseries. Vanvas, they were in exile. Duryodhan tried to kill them in so many ways. And when Krishna was with them. So what we learn is that in this material world, as long as we are here in this place called Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, the miseries will always be there because that is the nature of material world. Like if you go to an ocean means waves. There will be so many waves. If there are no waves, then you can't call it ocean. So similarly, this material world, it is a miserable place, a place called, it is certified by Krishna, it is Dukkhalayam, a place of miseries, and Ashashvatam, temporary. So if as long as you are there, there will be miseries. So don't think that becoming Krishna consciousness means now all the miseries will get over. Only thing what happens when we come in Krishna consciousness, we get a boat. Krishna consciousness is like a boat, a ship you can call it, where the waves will be there, but since you are now sitting in that boat, you won't be affected. Your consciousness now will get risen to such an extent that you are able to face it in proper knowledge, understanding that as long as I'm here, I will have to suffer due to my past karmic reaction. But now Krishna is there with me, so I don't have to worry. He'll take care of me. So that is the kind of consciousness we get. So we have to understand what is the real distress, which Krishna will vanquish. Krishna will vanquish all that attachment that we are having in this material world, and depending on that, we try to be happy. So we should always understand that who we should depend on. Like the Uddhava, Lord advised him, you go to Badrika Ashram and associate with my devotees there, and then you'll be happy. But in the second shloka, if you can see, Uddhava says, even though Lord advised me this, he's so attached to the Lord that he couldn't follow that. He, instead of going to Badrika Ashram, he started following the Lord. So that is the mood of a devotee. If you see again Arjuna's example, when the war of Kurukshetra was supposed to take place, both Duryodhana and Arjuna went to Krishna. Okay, and Krishna said, since I saw Arjuna first, I will give him the opportunity first, either to choose me or choose my Narayani Sena. Now Duryodhana was very, very perplexed. He thought, if Arjuna will choose Narayani Sena, what I will do with Krishna, who has already who will enter the war with the where he won't fight. So what is use of such a person? He was very, very afraid. But Arjuna, what he did, without even thinking for a while, what he said, I want you, Krishna. And Duryodhana was very, very happy, and he thought that Arjuna was a fool. I mean, he he had a chance, but he chose Krishna. And here again, Krishna is, why did Krishna give Arjuna the first chance? Because Krishna knew that Duryodhana will anyway choose Narayani Sena. And what will people say in general? People will say, because Arjuna had no choice, because Narayani Sena was already chosen by Duryodhana. So Arjuna had no choice, so he chose Krishna. That's the reason Krishna, to show how great his devotee is, he first gave Arjuna a chance, where he had both the chances, he had both the options, either Narayani Sena or Krishna. But Arjun knew that, and Arjun knew that he wanted Krishna. Why? Because he was not thinking of winning the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He was so attached to Krishna, and Krishna was so dear to him. Whether I win the battle or I lose the battle, it doesn't matter. I want Krishna. That is the mood of a devotee, and that should be our mood as Krishna conscious practicing devotees, as sadhakas. See, we feel that Krishna consciousness is one part of our life, but we depend more on our family, the financial position, our bank balances, our external things. And then when these things are okay, then we go to Krishna and say, okay, now we'll practice Krishna consciousness also. But that is the biggest mistake we do in our life. The actual dependence of us should be only on Krishna, like Arjuna showed. Because then it is said, no, Jayastu Pandu Putrana Yesham Pakshe Janardana. When Krishna is in our life, then our victory is guaranteed. Now, that victory, the main victory is to get out of this material world. And Krishna is actually planning for us that. And as per our karma, sometimes materially we may have, externally people might think after taking to bhakti process, this person is suffering more, right? It happens, right? When we come to bhakti, before coming to bhakti, our material life was not so problematic. It was going peacefully. But after taking to bhakti, now suddenly we see problems are coming from all directions. Why is that? Because now when Krishna sees that this person has taken to my bhakti, now he's depending on me and he wants to get out of this world. So what Krishna does, whatever karmas that we accumulated for so many millions of lifetimes, Krishna brings it all together. And Krishna's plan now is how to settle this all karmic reaction in one go and make that person go back to the spiritual life in this very lifetime. So to do that, instead of allowing that the karma to come at his own due time, at his own sweet time, now Krishna is arranging all of them. And if you actually know, Krishna makes, the amount of suffering we had to undergo, Krishna makes it very, very less. Like they say, no, the what do you call, the calf's hoof print. When the calf, the calf, mother cow's child calf, when it keeps its leg in a very soft place, a soft land, it creates a small little huddle like. So our ocean like karma, Krishna converts it to that huddles, that small. And to undergo that also we feel it is so problematic. So imagine if we have to undergo our real karmic, which is like karma, which is like an ocean that we have accumulated for so many million times. And because we are manda buddhi, because we are not very much knowledgeable, and our faith in Krishna is not so much, that's little problems which we get when we come in bhakti also, we feel it is very it's too much for us to handle. But that's the reason we should always be in association of devotees when we are practicing, because when we are in association of devotees, in advanced devotees association, and through their mercy, through their blessing, slowly this knowledge, we come to know that actually I had to suffer more, but by Krishna's mercy I'm suffering very less. So this is what we have to learn through this. So when we say Krishna is a vanquisher of distress, definitely Krishna will never put his devotee in any trouble. Krishna will never give uh, uh, what you call problems that come in our life. Krishna will never give us problems which are more for us to handle, because he understands that what is our level. If you see Kunti Maharani had undergone all the troubles in her life, but what did she pray? She prayed to give me more troubles. That is a different level. We are not at that level, so Krishna knows. So here we can see Uddhava, and that is always should be our mood also. Anything which is not related to Krishna, that should give us distress. And anything that is related to Krishna, even if it looks a bit like Ekadashi is a time when we have to fasting from grains. So it becomes like a austerity, right? But because it gives pleasure to Krishna, we should do it with all with all joy. We should not do it like Ekadashi, again Ekadashi is come, again we have to fast. Krishna Janmashtami, full day fasting, Nirjal fasting. But because it is related to Krishna and it is giving pleasure to Krishna, we should do all these things with joy. And that is the actual devotion. That is actual devotee. Getting up early morning, Brahma Muhurta, 4 o'clock, and chanting. If you see the materialistic people, they are fast asleep at that time. Nowadays with mobile, they go to sleep very late, being engaged in their mobile, and they get up late. But what a devotee does, a devotee goes to sleep early and gets up early. And now during winter season also, it becomes very tough, at 4 o'clock it is so cold that you feel like, let me sleep more. But devotee doesn't do that. Devotee knows, if early morning if I chant, my chanting becomes very, very nice, less offenses, less distraction, and the chanting becomes nice, and this is very pleasing to Krishna. So he gets up early morning and he chants. So this is how a devotee's life should be, to do anything and everything which might look like austerity, but because it is pleasing to Krishna, I want to do it. So here also, Uddhava, when he knows that Krishna is going back, that is distress for him. For us, what is distress? Not getting our choice salary, not getting our choice house, my choice car, my choice of enjoyment. This is our distress. So when Krishna is actually vanquishing our distress, he is actually vanquishing all these desires. So that is actually what Krishna vanquishes for us. Because in material life, there is no enjoyment. So what we see as enjoyment is actually nothing but, again, bondage to Maya, bondage to this material world, continuing our existence in this material world. So do not think that Krishna will vanquish my distress, means Krishna will make my material life enjoyment, means he will make all arrangement, give me all facilities so that I can enjoy this material world. No, Krishna is our eternal Father. So our eternal Father, he loves us so much. As a children, he'll see that what is good for us. So when he sees that his child is now taken that step to come back to him, so he'll make sure that he will vanquish all those Maya's, Maya's allurement, which we were attracted to. He will vanquish those. So here we see that Uddhava, even though he was asked to go to Narayan Rishi's ashram in Badrika, he is trying to follow Krishna only, because that is the life and soul of Uddhava. Even similarly, if you see the life of gopis, when Krishna left Vrindavan, they became distressful. As long as Krishna was there, they were very, very happy. But the moment Krishna left Vrindavan, they became in full distress. They started, they felt Akrura is such a cruel person. Akrura, because Akrura came to take him, no? So they said, Akrura, you're such a cruel person. You've taken the life, the very life of us. The entire Vrindavan was lifeless because Krishna had gone. So our life also should be like that. When even if you get a thought, tomorrow, what if I live Krishna consciousness? What will happen? That kind of thought should come to us. But what is our thought? What if my this opulence, this my wealth goes? What will happen to me? Are this wonderful house which I built? Are if due to some problem, if this is taken away from me, what will happen to me? This is the kind of thought we get, and we feel this is the real distress. But this is not distress. Once Maharaj was saying beautifully, when Krishna gives us something, he gives us with his millions of hands. How much will be able to accumulate with his two small hands, tiny hands? And similarly, when Krishna takes away something from us, he takes away with millions of hands. How much will you try to save what Krishna is taking with this 2 million, with these two tiny hands? So please don't think the distress of losing something in this material world is distress. This will keep happening. As per our karmas, will get something. As per our karma, something will be taken away from us. So do not think this as distress. Now we know again the COVID wave. There are rumors. I don't know rumors or real news. So that is not in our hands. Again, life, the materialistic people will feel, oh my God, again our enjoyment will be stopped. I can't roam anywhere freely. So many people might lose their jobs in case this wave comes, and that might be distress. But that is the nature of this material world. But for a devotee, what will happen? How should we think? This is not in our hands. So Krishna, if something of such is happening, without a sanction, it is not happening. You have sanctioned it. So just give me intelligence to face whatever will come. So that is how a devotee will, a real devotee thinks, and real devotee should think. And now here in the 6th shloka, we come to know that Krishna, and see how Krishna is merciful. He came to enact his pastimes. He brought his own parshad, his confidential devotees, who he had told to take birth in the Yadu dynasty. Because I'm coming, you take birth in the Yadu dynasty. And now when he's winding up his pastime, again he's taking them back. He's not leaving them here. And Prabhupada explains, since they are Krishna's confidential associates, who can kill them? Nobody can kill them because they're Krishna's confidential associates. So now since Krishna wants to take them back, again this is the pastime of Krishna, where what Krishna does through his own potency, he makes them fight among each other and kill each other. Otherwise, nobody can kill Krishna's confidential associates. They are as strong as Krishna, they are as powerful as Krishna, because they are empowered by Krishna. And now since Krishna is going back, so Krishna says, you all also come with me. And so they have to come, they have to, again, what you call, so to show that whoever Krishna takes care of, he makes sure that when he is leaving, they also go with him. So here, because of that, they fight among themselves. For a materialistic person, they might feel like, Krishna's confidential devotees, it is said they drank, because of which they got intoxicated, and in that intoxication they fought among themselves and killed each other. But for a devotee, they know, when the acharyas explain to us, when Prabhupada and our acharyas explain to us the real reason behind all this lila, why they got intoxicated, why they fought among themselves, killed each other, when they tell, we accept it directly, absolutely. We do not try to think how it can be possible. They told us means, yeah, that's the final verdict. So just because Krishna wanted to take them along with him, all this lila was performed, where they fought among themselves, killed each other, and went back. And Uddhava is now telling us here that Krishna, who is the shelter of everybody, this entire cosmic manifestation, the spiritual world, this material world, it is emanating from Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvita. Krishna tells, 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, everything is emanating from him. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead is now, he is taking shelter. And Prabhupada was saying, he was sitting with his back leaning his back against a banyan tree at the banks of Saraswati river. And Prabhupada give a beautiful example. So like we say, no, Krishna Surya Saman, Maya hai andhakar, jaha Krishna taha nahi mayar adhikar. So Krishna is Surya Saman. So Krishna, the Bhakti Devi is always in front of Krishna, and Maya Devi is like a shadow which is behind Krishna. And this banyan tree is the comparison is given like a material world. In the Purushottam Yoga, if you see, in that banyan tree example is given. At the bank of the river, where there is a banyan tree, you can see the reflection. If you see, it shows the roots are upward and the branches are down. So similarly, here Prabhupada was telling that banyan tree which Krishna was sitting with his back. So basically, this banyan tree is compared to this material world. So Krishna was sitting, and material world, we know it's the world of it is Durga Devi's place. She is the owner of this material world. I mean, Krishna has made her the in charge. She is the fortress, this material world. So Durga Devi means she is the what you call shadow of Maya Devi. So Krishna is sitting with his back against the banyan tree, which means Maya Devi is behind him. So Prabhupada gave this example. And now Krishna is just waiting to wind up his pastime. And that is how this material world, we also who have come here, we also should always try. Krishna is showing us that please do not what you call continue your existence here in this material world. Please plan to wind up your karmas here, wind up your karmic activities, convert it into spiritual activities, so that at the end of the life, when the time comes to quit your body, you can think of me, of Krishna, and go back to the spiritual world. No matter how well you are situated here, everything will by the will of, by the what you call by the time, the will of time, it will be taken away from you. And you never know what will be your next life. So imagine the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of everybody, who owns everything. He also, when he comes to this material world, enacts his pastime to show us what actually happens in the spiritual world. Even that Supreme Lord, he also winds up his pastime. He is not attached. That's the reason that 6 opulences which we see of Krishna, one of the opulences is called Vairagya. So Krishna is always detached, and so are his devotees. Like the Pandava example we took, even though they could have ruled the entire Bharat Varsha, the moment they came to know that Krishna is going back, they also decided to go back. So that kind of mood we should also have. After coming to Krishna consciousness, we should have this detached, this yukta vairagya in us. As long as we have the facilities, we use it in Krishna's service. And when and knowing that the goal of life is to go back to Krishna, not that we have the facilities, so I'll practice Krishna consciousness, stay here only in this material world, and I'll use this facility in Krishna's service also and my service also. I will use early morning, I will do bhakti, and after the bhakti, after my 16 rounds are over, Mangala Aarti is over, then I'll go out and I'll also do some sense gratification for myself with the facilities I have that I've got from Krishna. No, our mood always should be this facilities Krishna has given me to intensify my bhakti, so I can be 24 hours Krishna consciousness. And at the same time, I know that anytime these facilities will be taken away from me, and anytime I might have to quit this body. Here we understand Parikshit Maharaj's story. 7 days, the moment he came to know 7 days he has, the entire 7 days he used in listening to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. No food, no sleep, nothing. So similarly, we also have 7 days. Monday to Sunday is 7 days. And anything that will happen in this one of the 7 days. So similarly, we should always 24/7, while we are doing our grahastha activities, our office activities, parental activities, friendship activities, we should always be like Parikshit Maharaj, understanding that anytime anything will happen. Anytime the time will tell me you have to quit the body. So our mood also should be like this, that these facilities which I have, I'm not attached to these facilities. It is only to be used in Krishna's service. And when time comes, I'm ready to give it up and think about Krishna. And this entire Krishna consciousness process is, it is like that study, it is like that practice, how to remember Krishna at the time of quitting the body. And if you can do that, then that is the real success. And Krishna is helping us to attain that success. Krishna is relinquishing our distress. What distress? Our attachment to all these facilities, this Maya's allurement. Krishna's this Krishna conscious entire process is how to get detached from sense gratification, these facilities which we think is the real goal of life, and how to make us attached to him, his listening to his pastime, chanting his names, how to serve devotees, how to have that attachment towards devotees, attachment to listening to Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the scriptures, attachment to listening to Prabhupada's lectures, attachment to serving our spiritual master, attachment to serving devotees, and each and every small service, that is Krishna consciousness, how to get attached to that. And when we get attached to the Krishna conscious completely, then no matter externally due to our karma what problems come or what distresses come, they will never look like distress. Like Pandavas, even though they were undergoing so many distress, they never felt they were in distress because Krishna was with them. And never even once they asked Krishna, oh Krishna, you are there with us, then why these problems are coming? Why are you suffering so much? Never did they even ask once Krishna. Because just having Krishna in front of them, all this distress, they looked insignificant. They were just sailing through it. So even if we also can make similarly our life totally Krishna conscious, no matter what comes, COVID comes, financial problem comes, they will never ever look like distress to us. Because in the moment, there is a shloka in Bhagavatam, Hasam Harer. The moment you see the smiling face of Krishna, we all have an altar in our place due to Prabhupada's mercy, whether it's Krishna, like Kunja Bihari, Shri Shri Radha Kunja Bihari, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, Shri Shri Radha Sham Sundar, Shri Shri Radha Madhav. The moment you go to the altar and then when you see the smiling face of their lordships, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, all our distress should actually vanquish. But if that is not happening, that means still we are attached to our materialistic life. The moment we go to the altar, we should not ask for anything. We should only keep trying to take the darshan and make it what you call, fill our consciousness with that beautiful smile of their lordships. And always remember, some problem comes, just try to bring that smiling face of their lordship in front of us and tell our mind, tell our senses, don't worry, Krishna is there. He is the vanquisher of the distress, all the miseries. He will take care. I have to just do my part. The real part will be done by Krishna. So when we keep telling our mind, our consciousness this, slowly, what will happen? We will also, even though we are in Dukkale Shashvatam, because now we are totally dependent on Krishna more than the facilities, we will slowly feel that there is no distress in this material world. It's a very high level, but somewhere we have to start, somewhere we have to learn. And like Uddhava here, we should always be prepared. Don't get attached that, no, I want to stay here. Always be prepared. Like Pandavas, always be prepared. When will I get a chance to again reunite with Krishna? When will that day come? When will that day be mine? In that mood, in that Yukta Vairagya mood, we should live in this material world. So then nothing will be painful, nothing will be miserable. There is a beautiful saying, when Arjuna, when Duryodhana took Narayani Sena and went back, Krishna very jokingly told, हार है निश्चित तेरी सदा रहेगा उदास, माखन तो दुर्योधन ले गया, छाछ रह गई तेरे पास. So this is what Krishna tells Arjun, ki the main thing, Narayani Sena is taken by Duryodhan, Makhan Duryodhan le gaya, chhas reh gayi tere paas. So Arjuna, what he replies, jeet nishchit hai meri, victory is certain for me. Das nahi ho sakta udas. A devotee can never be unhappy. Makhan leke kya karu, जब माखन चोर है मेरे पास. So what he is telling, a devotee is always victorious. He can never be unhappy. And what to do with all these facilities which Duryodhan took? माखन लेके क्या करूं जब माखन चोर है मेरे पास. The person who actually is the reservoir of all माखन, he is there with me. So why should I worry that if little bit makan is taken by somebody? So when we have Krishna with us, we have everything. Trust me, everything we have. You don't have to worry about anything. The only problem is we do not want Krishna. We only want his facilities. We only want his. So that is the problem. So if Krishna only gives us facilities without himself, those facilities will actually put us in miseries. This is a very important point we have to understand. Arjuna was not a fool to kick Narayani Sena away and just ask for Krishna. And that should be our mood. Yasmin tushte jagat tushti. Idam govinda idam mama. Everything is Krishna's. Nothing is mine. So if I have Krishna with me, that is my success. So let us all start depending on Krishna in every situation. And let us not depend on facilities. These facilities are just temporary. As per our karmas will get, as per our karmas they will be taken away. And like Uddhava, like Pandava, like Kunti Maharani, let us depend on Krishna. And if you can do that, trust me, all our distresses will be vanquished without us even knowing, and we will not even feel that we are in a miserable world. Because where there is Krishna, it is spiritual. Whenever Krishna is there with us, and if Krishna is there with us 24 hours, even though we are here, we are actually in spiritual world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you for patient listening. And if I did any mistakes or something which you couldn't relate to, please forgive and seek your blessing again. And thank you, Shamchandra Prabhu. Thank you, everybody here, for allowing me to do this seva. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Shila Gurudev. Nama Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhuveyocha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anant Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. I stop here.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Very nice class, Prabhuji. Wonderful session. Hare Krishna. Any devotee has any questions, you can ask or you can type in the comment box. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Danut Nam, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for this wonderful session. I mean, after listening to this session, I have suddenly started feeling that, there's nothing in our life that can actually stop us in doing bhakti. Plus, जो आपने एक चीज बोली कि हम जो कर्म अभी हमारे जो कष्ट है, जो हमें कष्ट मिल रहे हैं, ये तो बहुत कम है, और वो कम इसलिए है क्योंकि ठाकुर जी के हम की तरफ की सेवा में, उनकी साधना में अग्रसर हुए हैं, तो वो हमारे को वो कष्ट दे रहे हैं, लेकिन उसका जो इफेक्ट है वो बहुत कम है. तो मुझे सडनली रियलाइज होने लगा कि मैं जो मेरे साथ किसी भी साथ, मतलब इट्स नॉट दैट मेरे साथ कुछ हो रहा है, बट छोटी छोटी जो भी तकलीफ आ रही है, आई थिंक वो छोटी इसलिए है क्योंकि ठाकुर जी हमारे साथ हैं, और वो he is showing us the way to come to Golok Dham, and we just have to follow Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening us. Thank you.
All glories to Prabhupada. And सही कहा माता जी आपने, हम सोच भी नहीं सकते कि भगवान कितना डिस्काउंट दे रहे हैं हमको, और खुद कितना वो मतलब कर रहे हैं. It is all Prabhupada mercy. And thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yes, let us all, matlab Prabhupada. Yes.
Hare Krishna. It's wonderful to see, Prabhuji, you are doing devotion in place like Goa and enlightening us. Very nice, Prabhuji.
All Prabhupada's mercy. I'm just a instrument, a parrot, just trying to repeat what I've heard from all wonderful Vaishnavas. And they are actually our source of we have so many, we depend on so many people, powerful people, but actually the real powerful people are Vaishnavas. When Vaishnava speaks something, when Vaishnava blesses you it is nothing but directly Krishna's grace. So always do not depend on any powerful person who has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. Just Just depend on a pure Vaishnava. When a pure Vaishnava blesses you, trust me, all it is like Krishna blessing us. So that is what we are all made up of, blessings of pure Vaishnavas, and they are the most powerful people. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So today is disappearance day of Sri Jagdish Pandit. So any devotee would like to read out about him? I've just shared on the screen. Hare Krishna. So disappearance day of Sri Jagdish Pandit. The Jagdish Pandit lived near Jagannath Mishra, the father of Lord Chaitanya, in Sridham, Mayapur. Jagdish Pandit assisted Lord Chaitanya in spreading the Sankirtan movement in Jagannath Puri. Sri Jagdish Pandit ki jai. Hare Krishna. And also today's disappearance day of very prominent Acharya in Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, Sri Jeev Goswami. So Sri Jeev Goswami was born in 1511 AD in Ramkeli. Sri Jeev was a talented boy even from his childhood and had completed his studies in Vyakaran and other subjects within a very short time. The son of Sri Vallabh and nephew of Sri Sanatan Goswami. In Vrindavan, after disappearance of Rupa and Sanatana, Jeev Goswami practiced the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. He wrote 25 books and commentaries and ended his pastimes in 1598 AD. So Sri Jeev Goswami wrote millions of verses. So Sri Jeev Goswami ki jai. Hare Krishna. So you can read out more. I mean, you can listen to lectures online on him. We have little, bandwidth here to share something about him. Hare Krishna. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी एक क्वेश्चन मेरा है छोटा सा हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा नो वरीज आई विल कांटेक्ट प्रभु जी 1-to-1
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry,
जी 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 प्रभु जी आई हैव like 1 week of holiday this Christmas season, so
okay.
How should I take it forward for the devotional service?
Means didn't understand, Prabhu. Like Hare Krishna.
इस पूरे वीक प्रभु जी मेरी छुट्टी है तो मुझे कैसे करना चाहिए प्रभु जी?
ओके वही प्रभु मतलब सुबह का अपना जो ऑलरेडी प्रभुपाद ने जो फिक्स किया है मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम, अर्ली मॉर्निंग चैंटिंग, मंगल आरती, देन भागवतम क्लास, एंड अगर आप टेंपल के नजदीक हो, डिवोटी एसोसिएशन, और अभी तो ऐसा चल रहा है कि बुक मैराथन, सो इफ यू कैन एक्चुअली वांट टू प्लीज प्रभुपाद, बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इज द बेस्ट, एंड आपके पास छुट्टी है तो एटलीस्ट 2 to 3 hours यू कैन डेडिकेट फॉर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग.
कहीं बाहर तो नहीं जा सकता बिकॉज आई हैव अ किड, तो उसके साथ तो नहीं जा सकता.
maybe listen to Prabhupada lectures and ऐसे जो online classes होते हैं, and prepare like that way.
जी प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी. सो किसी भक्त का कोई प्रश्न नहीं है तो वी विल ऑफर वैष्णव प्रणाम एंड कंक्लूड द सेशन. जय. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्याश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की जय. श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. हरि हरि बोल. हरे कृष्णा. ऑल